Welcome everyone to Good Holistic Healing's YouTube channel, where we are guiding energy to discover new paths. Welcome everyone. I'm Keith Good, Reiki practitioner and spiritual seeker here at Good Holistic Healing. I invited you originally to help to join me with my shadow work, and it's been a long while since we've talked. Part of that's because I've had a block. Actually, most of that's because I've had a block. I don't know what the block is until just recently I sort of figured out that the block is that my ego doesn't want me to go into my shadow work. It doesn't want me because ego wants fit. And if I go into the shadow work or become liberated or become free from all my past, the ego doesn't have as much to feed on. So it blocked me. It's blocked me for quite a while. I mean, it's been 3 months since I've talked on this YouTube. And it's 3 months since you've had a video. With that said, let's get into that block other than just the ego. That block consisted of me being somewhat depressed, using excuses such as, oh, Christmas is coming up, the holidays are here, I have to do this, I have to do that, my truck needs fixed, my house needs some stuff done, I need to do this, all to block me, all to say, you shouldn't be doing this, all to not get into myself, all to stay out here. It's all the third dimensional stuff that keeps me from going inside. So with that said, we also have to look at other things as well. What is it in my past that I don't want to see? What is it in my past that is affecting me to the point that I am blocking it so far down that my ego doesn't want me to see it and be liberated from it? So we're going to look into all this, and there's been a few things come to my mind that has been coming through to me with my shadow work. Some of that has been from my teenage years. As a matter of fact, the biggest thing has come from my teenage years. And some of that has come from my childhood. And it's been sort of wrapped around, and I've thought about it, excuse me, I've thought about it, but I haven't dealt with it. I haven't pursued it. And now's the time for me to pursue it and get back into my shadow work. Been doing a lot of studies on other things and staying away from the shadow discovery, staying away from the shadow studies, again, because of the block. So from here on out, we're going to start doing it. We're going to start bringing up some of these things, bringing up some of my stories, bringing up how I dealt with it or how I didn't deal with it or how I dealt with it as a child versus how I need to deal with it as an adult now. Bringing it into the proper perspective of how all this works. As we go through this, we're going to see that even the very, very minor things, because I've come up with some very minor things that you wouldn't think would affect you, but it's the way I reacted to it at that time that I need to now look at and see how I can heal that in some manner or another. Now, when I say heal that, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be gone and forgotten. What that means is I'm going to learn how to live with it, learn how to be free from it, learn how to be part of a spiritual life instead of an egotistical third dimensional life. That's very paramount in shadow work. It doesn't mean that you don't live in the third dimension. What it means is that you learn how to deal with that, how to live with it, how to accept it for what it was and move on. A lot of things have been going on with my shadow work, mostly in my head. I haven't done a lot of action yet, but I think that's going to come. It started out with and I'm not going to share the actual dream with you, but it started out with a dream of my early adolescence and late preteen times from like 12, 13, 14 years old. And without sharing the entire thing because it is pretty personal, but to give a synopsis of it, it was about when I started my rebellious stage and how I reacted to that through peer pressure and through who was involved initially in getting me started in things like smoking and trying to smoke pot, or not trying, but doing it, and then ultimately going into a drinking career that I took off of me and went for 21 years before I got sober. So so part of that is that I started recalling some of that, and I don't have the particulars of it yet, simply because I don't know what the underlying situation was yet. What way we want to have that, what was any situation or group of situations or mindset or misunderstandings that might have had that created me and made me want to do all of these different things. So as that goes on, we'll definitely get into it, because that seems to be a huge part of my shadow work. So much so that it has really consumed me, I'm sure, my spirit, which is that quiet little voice in the back of your head, not the one blurting out. That quiet little voice in the back of my head is telling me, yes, you got to do this. Yes, you want to do this. So, yes, I'm fighting it. I'm fighting it with my ego, and because of that, I am getting more and more anxiety, and I'm getting up earlier in the morning at times and not being able to function as well without getting a nap in or something that I never have had as big an issue with in the past. Things like getting up at 1:30 in the morning and not being able to go back to sleep. And then I'm done for the day. Luckily, most of it's happened on the weekend when I'm not doing my 40-hour-a-week job. I've been able to take naps and work around it, but it's also because I'm taking those naps in the middle of the day, I'm not getting things done. I'm sitting there stewing, not even reading or meditating. When I do get up, I'm sitting there stewing over all the things that are becoming almost overwhelming to me that I need to get done. And then I wind down a little bit, and when I wind down, I got to take a nap. That keeps me from getting those things done. Instead of just stewing about it, I have to get up and get something done, but I'm not getting it done because the anxiety of doing it has become an issue to the point where I got to take that nap, and that's in the middle of the day when the businesses are open, when it's nice enough weather to be working outside on my truck or on my yard. Things are just sitting still and not getting done because of this anxiety, and it's not good. I'm working through it. I have been working through it. I've been doing better with it, but it's still an issue, and I still take that back to my ego, not wanting me to do this. I have been practicing a few things that have been difficult. You don't realize how difficult some of the simple things are in this, and one of them is when I try to relax or sit outside and have a cigarette, because I still smoke, I can't sit straight up. I'm always like this, smoking. I'm always down like this. Well, why is that important? Well, that's important because it's putting a kink in my chakra system. It's like cutting off the hose. When you try to bend the hose over to cut the hose off so the water doesn't come out while you put an end on it, or you're just trying to shut it down so it doesn't. That's what I'm doing. I'm bending over smoking, and that is putting a bend in my spine, which ultimately is shutting down my chakras, particularly 2 of them, maybe 3 of them, and it's keeping me from become balanced. So I've been practicing at every time I catch myself, I consciously straighten myself up. And this happens more when I'm smoking than any other time, but it happens other times. I find myself driving down the road, and instead of sitting there like this driving, I end up going like this. And that's, again, and what the chakras that I think are affected for this right now is my solar plexus, which is my confidence, my sacral, which are my feelings, which is the biggest thing I'm probably hiding, and possibly my root. is getting some resistance from that as well. I don't know about the upper chakras, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. I don't know how that's affecting it, other than energies can't flow up and down, and it might be doing it. But I think I'm doing it mostly to shut off my feelings. I'm doing it mostly to shut off things around me. And when you shut off your feelings, when you shut off your other things, then you lose confidence. So it's ultimately affecting my solar plexus as well. And the other thing that I'm trying to do is just relax. Not relax the way I used to. When I relaxed, I would relax and start playing on my phone. I would relax and watch TV. No, I'm trying to just relax without any outside distraction. Just sit there and work with whatever comes to my mind at the time. Try to just get it out of my head so I can move on to other things, and just relax and get inside myself without meditating. Just be me. That's really, really hard. I'm so used to getting my phone out and playing with it, or turning the TV on and watching just junk. Nothing good, nothing particularly interesting, just junk. I do a lot of spiritual watching of TV, particularly on a network called Gaia TV. So the biggest thing, two things I'm working on right now is the no crouching while I'm sitting, and the relaxing without any outside distractions. Those are the two biggest things, and those are not easy in and of themselves when you've got these habits and what I call cellular memory that brings you right to what you've been doing all the time. Oh, it's time to play. It's time to goof around on the phone for no good reason. It's time to watch junk on TV. It's time to do all these different things that you might do that have nothing to do with what I'm working on. And I'm not saying that there's not time to play on the phone and there's not time to watch the TV. I'm saying I don't have to take up all my spare time doing that and not getting other things done. And I'm not saying that I have to become a workaholic on this either. I'm saying I need to learn how to just be within me and just relax and not have the outside distractions. Those two things work together. The no crouching and the relaxing work together, because when I relax without a distraction, that means that I have to deal with the things that I'm dealing with, the feelings and the lack of self-esteem and the lack of confidence, because now I'm just sitting there doing nothing, and that's what's coming up. I just wanted to bring an update, a short update today of what was going on. We will expand on this tremendously, but I will say that this is a process that is going to take time, and I have to do it in the right time. And there's more and more coming out about my recalling of my preteen to early teen years. Somehow that's significant. I don't know yet why, but somehow that's significant. So with all that said, we're going to now move on into other aspects of the shadow work as we move into future videos that will bring about some of this stuff, and maybe you'll have some issues that you wanted to discuss in the comments, but we'll deal with all that as we move on. I do want to mention real quick here that the Wednesday after this comes out, it'll be the special video that I've been talking about. It's finally been done. It's finally ready to go. And I'll give you a little hint. It's about combining two modalities of healing and how they can work together and how they can work as a true healer in other aspects of your life. So stay tuned. It'll come out. This video will come out on Sunday. The next video will come out on Wednesday. And anytime I have a special video like the one that we're doing with these two modalities, they'll always come out on Wednesday so that it doesn't interfere with my weekly videos that I put out on shadow work and other things that I see that are necessary to be put out. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, do everything in your life as spiritually as you can. Make every moment a spiritual moment. Just stay in the moment. Thank you again for everybody who watches these things. I really appreciate all the support I get.